going on, guys? Will here, welcome to the video. You guys know I have a powder for any occasion, and some I bring out for every occasion, and one of those being protein powder, but I can't remember the last time I put a scoop in a shaker, shook it up, and down it. I prefer to cook with it, and I like to think that I'm pretty good at it. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys 4 of my favorite recipes using protein powder, so come on in my kitchen. Now, a very important thing that I've learned over the years is that the main ingredient has to taste good, which is why I eat pineapple, and for these recipes, I use BPN. So this is a whey casein blend, which makes things thicker and more moist. You can use isolate if you want to, it'll just make things really dry, and that's nothing that any of us ever want to enter into. So I usually save the pure stuff like isolates for mirrored surfaces. So if you guys want to save any money on BPN products, make sure to use code TENNY. Link is in the description for 10% off. Now, let's get cooking. Like any relationship, a bodybuilder's desire for regular protein mixed with oatmeal will begin to dwindle, which is why it's very important to find healthy options to spice it up so there's no temptation to cheat your diet. So we're gonna be making some baked protein blueberry cobbler. I'm making these names up on the spot right now. Oatmeal, it's gonna change the way that you see oatmeal, and it's all gonna start off in this blender. So in my blender, I have my dry ingredients, which consists of half a cup of oats, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1.5 teaspoons of ground flaxseed, 1 teaspoon of stevia, which is optional, I desire more sweetness, and a pinch of salt. Now it's time to do the wet ingredients. So we're gonna be adding 1 full banana. I always find it easy to slip one in when baked from personal experience, so 1's going in. Then we're gonna go in with 1/3 cup of cashew milk, or any nut that you wanna throw at it, it will accept it. So 1/3 cup of unsweetened cashew milk. And then last but not least, because we all need something that's synthetic sometimes, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of some Walden Farms, or any sugar-free, low-calorie maple syrup. And then we're gonna blend this all up, and then once it's all combined, we're gonna mix in some fresh blueberries. So this is what your batter should look like at the end, and now we're gonna add it to this mini loaf pan. Feel free to put it in a muffin pan, kind of like a circular pan, whatever you wanna do, it'll be just fine. So I sprayed it a little bit with some non-stick, and now we're gonna add the batter to the pan, and then we're gonna mix in the blueberries. So it doesn't look like much right now, but like me, once it gets warm, you should see some significant growth. So we're gonna put it into the oven, preheated at 400 degrees for 25 minutes. Let's get a little cross section for you guys here. I tell you what, it smells like a Starbucks pastry. I'm just so excited to get into this, so I'm gonna have a bite. You can top this off with Greek yogurt, PB2, whatever you wanna do. Use this, have fun with it, express yourself. Okay, I'm just gonna have it just straight up for the video. Wow, tastes like banana bread, dessert, but it's oatmeal. Sometimes when I eat, I forget why I'm here. And this is one of those reasons. This is one of those moments right now where I just love food so much. You know, it is freaking fantastic. When you do things unconventionally, like air fryers, fuzzy handcuffs, it's hard to go back. I could never go back to regular oats now. This is where it's at. Oatmeal loaf. Try it out. Every good boy deserves fudge is a musical mnemonic, which makes sense because if you make this recipe for your friends, you'll be hitting high notes all night. So for the dry ingredients we have in here, we have 3 scoops of protein powder, or 96 grams, 45 grams of coconut flour, 1 teaspoon of brown sugar because we are all sweeter together, 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder, and then a pinch of salt. And now you're gonna take your whisk and you're gonna combine it evenly. Okay, so our dry mix is combined, and this is super important that the protein powder that you're using tastes good, and it's a whey casein blend, because if you use an isolate or a bad tasting protein, this recipe is gonna taste like dog crap. So I just highly recommend just pick up some Nutter Butter Blast by BPN. So all mixed together, and now it's time to work on the wet ingredients. So I have 2 tablespoons or 13 grams of PB2 that I mixed with some water to make actual peanut butter consistency, and we're gonna add this to our bowl. There we go. The next thing we are gonna do is add, again, 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of some Walden Farms. We're gonna go in with 1 teaspoon of some vanilla extract. I'm just gonna eyeball it, looks about right. And then last but not least, 1 tablespoon, just 1, I know people are gonna be complaining, just 1 tablespoon of some coconut oil, which is 15 grams. So it's gonna look very, very dry by this point, but you gotta channel your inner Helga, your Ukrainian masseuse, and she needs to break you to fix you. So we're gonna go knuckle deep in here and get everything combined. And then that is part 1 of our fudge. So this is the dough that you should be dealing with right now. So I have a pan here with some saran wrap, and I'm gonna put the dough in, and I'm gonna evenly press it down with my fingers, and then we are gonna pop it into the fridge to let it rest for around 10 minutes. So it's been 10 minutes and our fudge bottom has significantly hardened up, and now it's time to top it with a 1/4 cup of chocolate. So I prefer a dark top, and that goes for my chocolate as well. So we're gonna go with a 1/4 cup I melted down in the microwave, and then this is gonna go back into the fridge for 15 minutes for the chocolate to harden up. Okay, so the chocolate isn't fully like hardened yet, but if you put it in the fridge, it gets hard, it's even better. It has a little crispiness to it. It's a very thin layer, but I'm just gonna take the corner piece. It is so rich, it is so good. It tastes like a chocolate bar. If you go up with this at an office potluck, you'll be the life of the party, my friend. So try this out for sure. Let's move on to recipe number 3. I don't feed the camera, man.
I just want one.
The third recipe of the day is gonna be a protein cookie dough. It's no bake, it's super quick, and this is honestly probably my favorite recipe of the day. This is perfect if you're just coming off a breakup and you wanna keep things together physically, maybe not emotionally, but physically. So in here we have 30 grams of coconut flour, and now we are gonna add 96 grams or 3 scoops of a vanilla protein powder. Okay, first things first, I'm the realist, but also first things first, we're gonna add 6 tablespoons of some applesauce. Don't worry, you will not taste it. I can promise you guys that, but I'm sure some of you guys will pretend that you do taste it. 1, 2, 6, there we go. Next up, we're gonna be adding 3 teaspoons of a nut milk of your choice. I'm gonna be going with my good old friend Cashew. So 3 teaspoons, 1, 2, 3. And then last but not least, before the chocolate chips, this is a secret ingredient and it makes the world of a difference. So if you're gonna make this, you must have it, and that is some butter extract or vanilla butter extract. It gives you this illusion that's just full of fat, full of butter, but in reality, it's not. So 1½ teaspoons of this, and it goes a long way, my friends. It's nice and thick, so 1 teaspoon, and then just a half. There we go. And that is the mix. And now we're gonna mix it up, and then we're gonna fold in some chocolate chips, and this is ready to eat immediately. There we go. And now we're gonna add around 2 tablespoons of some chocolate chips. So I'm using the Lily's brand. I love the way that she tastes. So 2 tablespoons of that roughly gonna go in. This is a salted caramel flavor. So like I just said, it's totally fine to have it now, but if you wanna pop it into the fridge for around 10 to 15 minutes, it can thicken up and it can even be better. Look at that. Don't you just wanna go? Now imagine freshly out of a breakup, you sit down for a movie with this. I'd be pretty over it by this point. I'd be freaking in heaven. So, like, there's nothing bad in here. Applesauce, protein, coconut flour. You guys can see by now that coconut flour is the anabolic dust alongside xanthan gum. I'm killing it today. I'm killing it, what can I say? This is so good. Cookie dough always reminds me of that time that me and the book club boys did some role play and I was the Pillsbury Doughboy, and never mind, but. Okay, so we're on to the last and final recipe of the day, recipe number 4, and that is gonna be.
Is there any food?
I'm starting to. It smells really good.
Starving.
Really?
Like I can hear you down here. I can smell cooking and everything. And
Well, you know what? I don't know how you smell because these are both no bake.
but I can hear stuff going on.
You can hear stuff going on. But this is my homemade protein bar, and this is cookie dough. So you guys can dig right in. Get a spoon.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Package it up and sell it, bro.
Mm-hmm. I actually think I could. I think we could package that and sell it. Would you give them both out of 10? Both of you guys.
I would definitely.
10?
I would definitely make both
10.
of these things.
Yeah?
10, 8.
8, okay.
No, I think this is. I like them both. I think they're both 10s.
The last and final recipe of the day, we are making a cinnamon roll, cinnamon toast crunch cheesecake. So it is amazing. It's a 2-step process, and the first thing we gotta do, it's very important, we gotta pre-bake the crust as if it's going to the Snoop Dogg concert. So what you need is 40 grams of almond flour, 15 grams of Cinnamon Toast Crunch that we crumbled up into the bowl right here. And that is gonna be the base of the cheesecake. And now to this, we are gonna add 2 tablespoons of melted 28 grams of coconut flour. I'm gonna get that evenly mixed. And then we're gonna press this to the bottom of our cheesecake pan. So that is what your crust should look like. So like I said, we're gonna pop it into the oven, 350 degrees for 15 minutes until it gets golden brown. And in the meantime, we're gonna start working on the cheesecake filling. All right, filling time, y'all. So the first thing we're gonna do is add a full block of cream cheese, light cream cheese, 250 grams. In Canada, we don't have fat-free, but if you have fat-free, I'd highly recommend it. So 250 grams of cream cheese. And then we're gonna add 1 cup or 233 grams of 0% non-fat Greek yogurt. Beautiful. And then over here I have 2 scoops or 64 grams of cinnamon roll BPN protein with 12 grams of some stevia, which is gonna go in. And then we are gonna crack 2 whole eggs. 2, there we go, that's actually pretty nice. And then last but not least, we got around a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Boom. And there we go, we're gonna zap it up, and then we're actually gonna add 15 grams, which is the other half of the 1 serving of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, into the batter. It's gonna catch your tongue off guard, and every bite have a little chunk of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So we're gonna blend this first, and then add that in. So it's all blended together, and now we're gonna add the 15 grams of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and then we're gonna give it a few pulses, and then this should be good to go. We're just waiting on the crust. So it's been 15 minutes, and take a look at the color of our crust. It smells amazing in here, doesn't it, Kofi?
It does smell pretty good.
It does. Like I'm killing him right now. He can't eat a thing. Not one thing.
I know.
Yeah, nothing.
It must be nice to be able to eat.
Yeah. So got the crust, and now it's time to add the batter. And then once we have the batter in, we're gonna add it to the oven, again, 350 degrees for 25 minutes. Okay, so batter is in, and then quick little tip before you put it in the oven, take the pan and just hit it against the ground, get the air pockets out. Once we took it out of the oven, we then let it cool for 20 minutes, and here we go. Ooh. Okay, so now it's time to plate it up and serve it up, man. So there it is. I undercooked it slightly. I'm just not a patient guy, but I'd suggest leaving it in for the extra 5 minutes. So 20 to 25 minutes, closer to 25. And let's just get after it here. I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It tastes like Cheesecake Factory for like 7/10 of a second, and you go back to reality. But in reality, it's pretty much the community college of cheesecakes. It's not very rich, it's not decadent, but it passes. It's good, it's a good alternative. You could have this every day. I think this is even appropriate to have for breakfast. When you like Greek yogurt, protein powder, there's nothing really in it that you'd be like, you shouldn't have this for breakfast. And I'm kind of tempted to name my first born child Greek yogurt so he never has to worry about my love being unconditional. Oh, I love this one. And fun fact, my dad, his favorite dessert of all time is cheesecake. So let's go see what he thinks about this. Dad, I made you cheesecake. Can you rank it for me?
See what I can do.
Out of 10.
That is damn good. I'm gonna give that a 9.5.
So what's the 0.5 missing?
A little bit more crustiness.
A little more crustiness? You don't want any more? So it looks like I got the approval from my dad, and I am gonna wrap up the video here. That was 4 amazing recipes with protein powder. If you try any of these out, it's gonna be really hard to go back to the traditional protein shake. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like. If you wanna see episode 2, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one.